So as you may not know, I recently beat Heartbeat as my first extreme demon. Pretty cool, I know, and with this level fresh in my head, I wanted to make a little guide with some tips and tricks on how to make learning and beating this level a little bit easier. I'm basically making the video I would have wanted to see before going into this level, cause learning and getting consistent at this level was a pretty good amount of the struggle of beating it. So here's some tips and tricks on how to beat Heartbeat. My first bit of advice is if you are thinking of beating this as your first extreme, stop, don't. Go seek help, cause you're actually insane. I beat this as my first extreme cause I really wanted to push myself and my skill level, but I really wouldn't recommend doing this unless you absolutely wanna torture yourself. I mean push yourself. While this is definitely an easier extreme, this isn't really considered a beginner extreme, and for good reasons. With inconsistent gameplay, spam, almost perfect timings, more spam, and nerves hitting you hard at the final stretch. Going into this as your first extreme will probably result in a lot of stress and lots of deaths, simply because you haven't built up the skills necessary to beat extreme demons, which you can only do by beating other extreme demons. This may demotivate you and possibly cause you to drop the level. I was honestly pretty close. By beating other extreme demons, you are getting yourself prepared to slowly beat more and more, by both gaining actual skill at the game, and also learning the mindset needed when it comes to beating extremes. Now with that disclaimer, let's hop into the actual level. Also, if this video helps you out in any way, please consider liking and or subscribing. Alright, let's begin. When you first start playing this level you will probably die here, a lot. But luckily since it's the first part of the level, over time it will get somewhat consistent. You'll wanna hold for the first click, then find a rhythm for the rest of the clicks. Your muscle memory should help you find one that works for you. For the 7th click you'll wanna jump as you're about halfway up the slope, and for the 12th click you'll wanna wait just a little and hit it late going off of the slope. It may sound confusing right now, but I promise it makes more sense when you try it for yourself. One tip I have that I wish I would have done when I was playing this level is to play the first cube on a layout to learn how it plays, then playing it in the actual level after you've gotten a feel for it. Now when you get to the blue jump orb, if you wanna go for the coin just hold until you get to the bottom platform. Then fall up, grab the coin, and begin your spam. If you aren't going for the coin, hold at the first blue jump orb, then click and hold when you land on the platform with the second blue orb. Jump up again, fall and hit the pink orb, then begin your spam. If you take the coin route, what worked for me at the spam was clicking 14 times then falling up. If you take the normal route, then click 13 times and fall up. You'll wanna fall through that little crease in the cloud deco. It'll line you up the best going into the next part. That's all for the beginning. Let's move on to the next part. Now many people consider this mini cube to be extremely inconsistent, but I think I found a way to make it as consistent as possible. I basically broke it down into a series of clicks per section, doing 3 clicks initially, then 5 clicks, 4 clicks at the blue orbs, another 4 clicks at the yellow orbs, 1 at the green orb then wait a little, 3 at the blue, almost immediately 5 at the sequence of yellow orbs, then finally I'd do 5 at the last set of orbs on my spacebar. 3 of the clicks are on the pink orbs, then I'd hit 1 of the yellow orbs, wait just a little bit, then hit the last yellow orb. This section might seem like random spam, but if you use this system I think you'll get used to it. On to the next section. Now for this part, this is the way I did it and most people do it. You'll wanna hit the first pink jump orb, hit the second pink jump orb, then hit both of the blue jump orbs. But if you accidentally time your jumps wrong going into this section, it's okay. You can still recover. You have 2 options. Miss all the orbs in the first row, hit the green and yellow orb in the second row, then both of the yellow orbs in the third row, or hit the yellow orb in the second row, and the green orb in the third row to correct yourself. Then for this part you'll wanna click 13 times total, the first 11 being a little spaced out. Then for 12 and 13 you'll wanna click those 2 a bit quicker. For this part with the portals, you'll wanna click the first 3 orbs basically as soon as you touch them. Then after the 3rd click you'll wanna buffer the next click, hitting the orb at the bottom instantly. For the green orb you'll wanna hit in the middle of it. Then hit the orb when you're between both gravity portals. Don't click at the yellow portal. Then hit the green orb as soon as you go through the gravity portal. If you hit it too early you'll go up through the portal and die. Don't click at this yellow portal either. Click the yellow orb as soon as you touch it or you'll flip gravity and die. Then hit the blue orb and 2 of the pink orbs and fall down at the last pink orb. As soon as you pass the last pink orb, buffer your input to hit the yellow orb off screen. That'll take you all the way to the next section. Now this ball part looks like you have to be perfect with your inputs, cause you pretty much do. The best advice I can give is just practice this part a lot until you get used to it. Once you get used to it, it's not so bad. You just have to find what works for you. When you get to this part though, there are 2 ways you can play it. Either go down onto the platform and fall down, or wait at the top and go down through the speed change. It's all a matter of preference. I just found going down through the speed change felt a little more natural to me. Here you'll wanna hit the pink orb going into the slopes. I would do a click in the middle of the dual ball slopes cause sometimes it would kill me if I didn't. You don't have to do that though. It might have just been a bug. But if that happens to you, you can fix it by just clicking during the dual ball. Then you'll hit the pink orb and go into the middle of the platforms. Do 2 spaced out clicks at the pink orbs. Click twice fast at this group of orbs, hitting both of the pink orbs and the yellow orb as the dual ball. Click twice at the platform, once to switch gravity, and the other to hit the yellow orb. Once you land on the platforms, wait a little bit, then click 3 times to go down, go back up, and hit the yellow orb. Then only focusing on the top ball. Once you're at the top of the yellow orb, click twice fast to hit both orbs and transition correctly, and finally click the yellow orb in the cube portal to take you into the next section. Now for this UFO you will wanna try to line up your jumps as perfectly as possible to go through the middle. This just comes with practice. Here you'll wanna get as close to the blue portal as you can, but don't go through it. Then do 4 clicks that kinda sync with the music. Your last click should be against the floor, bouncing you back up. You'll wanna get close to the double spike above you, then jump through the blue portal, then jump into the yellow portal and hit the green jump orb, and click an additional 3 times to line yourself up with the green orb. Then hit the green orb and go through the blue portal. Try to wait a little before jumping into the portals. I ended up going through them a bit high, but the goal is to go through the portals as close to the middle as you can. This next part is pretty easy. Just click at the blue orb. Click before you hit the yellow portal so you jump up into it. Then hit this blue orb as close to the middle as you can. It's really easy to hit it too early, so just be careful of that. Then jump just a split second after touching the blue portal. Then do 2 quick jumps, and hit the blue orb after you've entered the yellow portal. Then hit all 4 orbs here. Then go through the blue portal, then hit the green orb. Then jump once after you go through the blue portal. Then again right before you start spamming, hitting the top of the UFO on the platform above you. Then this next part I did on my spacebar so my finger wouldn't be so tired for the next section. Instead of spamming the entire way though, I did 4 fast clicks, then started my spam. You can do it however feels most comfortable for you. I just found this to be easier for me cause I wasn't getting tired from constantly spamming. Now on to the next section. Now I'd have to say that this was probably the most inconsistent part of the level, for me at least. For most of you, this might actually be one of the easiest parts, but given the fact that I'm on 60 Hz, I only switched to mouse this year after playing with the spacebar for years, and that I also played the spacebar with my left hand. This part was quite the challenge, because this section is wave spam. There's not really a consistent way to do it, and will naturally play different for everyone. I know this will sound redundant, but the best advice I can give here is just practice a lot till you get it down. I can't say this part will ever be 100% consistent, but the more you practice it the better you'll get. Now for the next section. When you transition into the ship, you'll land on an invisible platform that will bounce you up slightly. After that you'll wanna do a light tap to go above the spike below you. Then you'll wanna even your ship out. Then hit the yellow orb to go up. And hit the green orb a little late to go back down. Even your ship out again to go through the gap at the bottom. Then go up slightly and even yourself out once more to go through the next gap. Press and hold at the green orb. Then press and hold again at the next green orb. But don't hit it too early or you'll hit the spikes above you. Slide against the top, then let go and click and hold right as you get to the green orb. Then click the yellow orb to go up. Now for the regular path. You'll wanna go up into the yellow portal. Then hit the pink orb. Fall into the blue portal. Then click the yellow orb. For the coin path, just go up into the yellow portal. Then hit the pink orb. But instead fall down through the blue portal. Then continue from there. Then you'll wanna hit the yellow orb. Then go through the portal. Wait a little. Then hit the orb. And do the same for the next portal and orb. But hold down after hitting this orb. Then hit the pink orb in the blue portal. But don't hit it too hard, or else you'll fly up into the spikes. Finally do a straight fly into the next section. For 60 Hz I found it easier to do 4 or 5 taps. But if you're on a higher refresh rate, you can just straight fly like normal. You'll also want to try to fly through the portal as close to the middle as possible. Otherwise you could hit one of the spikes above or below. Moving on to the next section. Now at first glance this part doesn't look too hard, and it's really not too bad. However, it's still pretty tricky, mostly cause you can't see what's going on or where you're jumping until you jump there. And while this part isn't that hard on its own, what makes it hard is nerves, and the fact that your heart will probably be beating pretty fast once you get here. So it's very important to practice this part a lot, so when you do get to it, you can beat it despite your nerves. My best advice for this part is try to land where the blurred spots are. I've found for me that's the most accurate way to pass this part. Now this level was updated after I beat it, so I'm not sure if it was fixed, but this spot is infamous for not really having a clear way to pass it, but there are a few ways you can do it. For the first way you basically hit each orb in the middle, but when you get to the last orb you're gonna wanna buffer your click to hit it immediately. This next way to do it I consider high risk high reward, cause it almost works every time for me, but it's also really easy to mess up. You're gonna wanna click as close to the front of the portals and orbs as possible, but when you get to the last orb you'll almost always be lined up perfectly and make it through. The way I did it though was I hit every orb in the middle like I showed in the first way, but at the last orb instead of buffering the input, I actually clicked it. This can work. You just have to be careful not to hit it too late or else you'll switch gravity and jump straight into the pillar. Another tip for this part is wait ever so slightly before hitting the orbs, cause if you hit the orb too early, you could miss the portal entirely and just hit the orb, messing you up. But if you wait too long, you'll go through the portal, but miss the orb. So you have to find the perfect timing for hitting the orbs, and once again that just comes with practice. Well, there you go. Those are my tips and tricks for beating Heartbeat. I honestly love this level and had a great time with it, despite getting kinda unlucky. I hope this guide helps anyone trying to beat this level, and also encourages those considering it. Once you know how to do all the parts, it's not so bad. It's just a matter of building consistency and stringing them together. If you made it this far I really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. It would really help me out and motivate me to continue making content to help or just entertain you. This isn't the content I normally make. This is my first time making a video like this, but it's been pretty fun stepping outside of my comfort zone. If you have any other ideas for videos you'd like me to make, leave all suggestions in the comments and I could always make a video on that topic. With that being said, thanks again for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Have a great one.